Learn something French!
Hi, welcome to episode number 3 of Learn Something French, the podcast for learners of French of all ages, skill and ability who want to learn something French. And we're still on our story about the ladybird, so I propose we continue. Next, I'd like to talk about the word quelque chose, which simply means something. Il y a quelque chose, there is something. Well, it's 2 words in French, but 1 in English. Something. Quelque chose means something. Vous voulez quelque chose? For example, at a cafe or a restaurant, vous voulez quelque chose? Do you want something? Can I serve you something? Can I offer you something? Vous voulez quelque chose? Or they might say, vous prenez quelque chose? Would you like something to drink? Vous prenez quelque chose? Quelque chose qui te fait envie is not very frequent. Qui te fait envie, that causes a desire in you. That's really what it means. Qui te fait envie. Une envie is a desire. It's a bit informal, and it's a children's story, so I understand why they would use it. Qui te fait envie, ça ne me fait pas envie. Yeah, you could say that to someone. Ça ne me fait pas envie. It doesn't generate desire in me. Ça ne me fait pas très envie. It's rather informal. I would almost say it's a bit childish to say ça me fait envie, ça ne me fait pas envie. It doesn't generate desire in me. I've never used it personally. Quelque chose qui te fait envie. I don't know, I'm not much of a fan, but une envie, what's interesting is une envie is a desire. On the second line, tu dois te dépêcher, you must hurry. This is a pronominal verb, which is always reflexive, so you must hurry your own self up. You can't hurry something else up, so this would give us je me dépêche, I am hurrying up, so in other words, I am hurrying my own self up. Tu te dépêches, il se dépêche, nous nous dépêchons, vous vous dépêchez, il se dépêche. This is a reflexive or really a pronominal verb, so dépêcher is always reflexive. That's a simple rule to remember. So if you want to say I'm hurrying up, je me dépêche. Next there's faire ta demande, and I find this a bit formal in this context. Faire ta demande, which really means make a request. You have to make a request. You would use faire une demande. J'ai fait une demande, for example, for planning permission. You've made a formal request for a planning permission. J'ai fait une demande. Anything official that requires paperwork, faire une demande. Also for marriage, oui, j'ai fait une demande en mariage. We speak of une demande en mariage. This is the formal question, will you marry me? In English, pop the question. Une demande is a request. At the end of the second line, there's something that strikes me here, and I'm sure that some Francophiles and some purists of the French language will have noticed also, avant qu'elle s'envole, and if you know the existence of the restrictive ne, you will have said this text contains a dreadful mistake. It's acceptable, but there is still, I would say there's still a mistake. So avant qu'elle s'envole is before she flies away, before the avant que, before, always in 2 parts, avant que, before that she flies away, avant qu'elle s'envole. There should have been, in my opinion, a restrictive ne, avant qu'elle ne s'envole. Now this is a very contrived rule of the French language. It's called a restrictive ne, because it's an event that's not desirable. I have that in my grammar section. It's quite hard to explain, but I think they should have written avant qu'elle ne s'envole. But in everyday language it's acceptable, and this is a story that is after all destined to children, so that's probably the reason they didn't include it. S'envoler is another reflexive verb, or pronominal verb. For example, a plane that flies away, that takes off. L'avion s'envole. You can't fly away something else. You can't apply the movement of flying away to, or the action of flying away to an object. So l'avion s'envole, l'oiseau s'envole, it means flying away. So in French you fly yourself, your own self away. So the plane is flying its own self away, and the bird is also flying its own self away. So l'avion s'envole, l'oiseau s'envole. And the verb s'envoler is a very, very interesting one, and I actually have a section on that in my grammar section, envoler, because it starts with en, and there's a series of verbs that start with en and designate a thing of which you acquire the qualities. So what I mean is, the bird has, or rather the ladybird has acquired the quality of the flight, because voler means to fly. So envoler, now the bird or the insect has acquired the quality of the action of flying. And there's a series of verbs that do that. For example, to be snowed in. If the house is snowed in, in a sense it has acquired the quality of the snow. Enneigé. La maison est enneigée. It's in-snowed, if you want. And here it's inflighted. It's inflighted. It has acquired the quality of flying. The house has acquired the quality of snow. And I had another example, engraisser. So engraisser means to fatten up. Engraisser, so you've acquired the quality of the fat, right? Enterrer means to bury someone in the earth. La terre is the earth, so enterrer is to acquire the quality of the earth. It's very interesting. I have a section on that on my website. On the third line we have car. Now car means parce que. It's just more literary. You can use it when you speak. Car, it's probably a little less frequent. Car, you can. There's no rule against it. Might not be the most natural thing ever. Parce que, quand elle part, car, you'll see it in writing. Car means because. Parce que, because. Because when it leaves, quand elle part, when the ladybird goes. So it's a perfect synonym. It's just that car is rather more used in writing. And parce que can be used in writing, of course. It's just a question of register. You know, car is considered to be more literary, more suited to writing. Two more things to talk about. On the very last line here, that very last sentence, on ne la voit plus, and I'll talk about those two things at once. On ne la voit plus. Who is on? Well, people in general. On, it's not just the person speaking and the person receiving the message. It's not we, us two, we don't see the ladybird anymore. It's we, people in general. So on can be people in general. And what they're doing is they're talking about a rule of life. Because when a ladybird flies away, you have to make a wish very quickly, because it leaves very quickly, and after that you can't see it anymore. So you means people in general. No one can see a ladybird anymore because ladybirds fly away very quickly. So on means we, people in general. And on ne la voit plus, if it had been a simple negative sentence, on ne la voit pas means we don't see it. On ne la voit plus means we don't see it anymore. So plus here means anymore. We don't see it anymore. If it had been we never see it, on ne la voit jamais. So the word pas can be replaced by plus or jamais. But you don't combine them. So you never say on ne la voit pas plus. Pas plus. Because it would mean we don't see it never anymore. Or it doesn't work. So on ne la voit pas means we don't see it. On ne la voit plus means we don't see it anymore. Et on ne la voit jamais means we never see it. And this concludes episode number 3 of Learn Something French. I hope it was useful. Leave your comments and questions below the video. I'll answer them personally. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.